Hi, I'm Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Come hang out with me this weekend. All right, hopefully post Christy has added an intro into this video, but basically you're going to be spending a weekend with me. All right, so I thought this would be a fun little winter weekend getaway with me for a holiday weekend, since my family and I are going to be having a little staycation in the city this weekend, and I thought it would just be fun. So Thanksgiving was yesterday, and I have a little bit of footage I'm going to show from there of just like me baking. I do all of the baking for Thanksgiving every year, so we always spend it with my family, my parents, my brother, my husband, my daughter, and I. We all go over to their house for Thanksgiving, so I do the Thanksgiving baking. I do the dinner, the yeast rolls, and then I do the Thanksgiving pies. So I baked pumpkin pie and then a pecan pie this year. So I have all the kind of footage of the little baking moments. My husband, daughter, and I are going to be having a little staycation in the city this weekend. Stay at a hotel there. We're going to do the Nutcracker ballet. We do that every year and just like have some fun. I'm going to do a ton of ARC reading. So I'm planning to share my thoughts on those reads. So that's why I'm starting off this video now. So I'm trying to get caught up on all the December arcs that I already have out, because I know that I'm getting some more like later on, closer to December and in December as well. So when I get them, I want to jump on them as soon as possible, because I know there'll be more coming. I have already started some December romance releases. I know I've already read You're the Duke That I Want by Lenora Bell. That one is a new historical from her. It's Grease inspired. It's basically like Grease, the movie, the musical, in historical romance. So like literally everything. The Pink Ladies, the heroine's name is Sandrine, like Sandy. The hero is the Duke of Rydell. Like he has a racing curricle that's called the Lightning Streak, like pretty much Grease in a historical romance. So I already finished that one. I gave that one actually 3 stars because I wanted like a little bit more. Like I wanted more kind of loosely inspired, or like if you see the nods and winks, like you know them if you know the story, but like I didn't want like an actual just historical retelling of the movie, which is basically what that is. Like you can see scene for scene like where these songs would have played, you know, during the movie and things like that. So like I wanted a little bit more surprise to the story. But like for what it was cute. It was fine. 3 stars. Then there's The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. I've already read that one and absolutely loved it. So this one is a paranormal werewolf wolf shifter romance, and it takes place like at a hospital. The heroine and the hero are both doctors. So that was super fun because it's set in like contemporary times, but it has enough moments of like the paranormal wolf shifter, like all of the mate talk and some breeding moments and going into heat and like all of that talk that you get with werewolf shifter romances, which I love. So like I felt like it was a good mix of kind of both, kind of that like contemporary setting, but also like the werewolf shifterness. So if that makes sense. I love this one. I absolutely love this author's writing. She wrote The Nanny earlier this year, which I loved. It was a single dad and nanny romance. Loved that one. That one is just like strictly contemporary, but this new one I loved as well. It was just a lot of fun, and like especially for somebody who loves werewolf shifter romances, I had a fun time with it. Basically, both of them need a fake mate, fake date, fake relationship, and so she's trying to appease her grandmother, and then the hero, he needs one as well for reasons, and so you find that out in the story, and it's just a lot of fun. Like I loved their relationship and banter and chemistry. It was just so good. Maybe a tad too long, but I feel like a lot of books are like that nowadays. So yeah, I love that one. Gave it 5 stars. So then the other ones that I plan to maybe I'll get to in this video is Broken Dreams by Corinne Michaels. This one comes out on December 1st, so I'm going to read that one first. This one is the second book in her Whitlock family series, which the first book was Forbidden Hearts that I loved earlier this year. So Broken Dreams is a single parent romance. They're actually both single parents. The hero and the heroine are both widowers, and they both have 3-year-old children. And so she has a daughter, he has a son, and their children are in the same school together / class together. And so they meet that way. It is a small town romance, and I believe it's fake dating as well. So I'm super excited to get more into that one because like I said, I loved the first book. So I'm going to start that one. I also have Sable Peak by Daphne Perry. This is of course the 6th and final book in the Edens series. I had to think about that for a minute. But yeah, so I've loved this whole series. This again is small town. This one's set in Montana. This is Mateo's book, and I know he moved back from Alaska back to Montana. I think it's single parent as well. We shall see. I kind of was hoping he was going to stay in Alaska because I mean, I'm in Alaska. I love an Alaska set romance. I feel like some authors could totally pull it off, but I believe he goes back to Montana, which is totally fine. I get it. And that one's out on December 5th. So that would be the second one I'd probably start. And then the last one that I have is Second Dukes, The Charm, I think it's called, by Kate Bateman. This is a new book and a new series from her. I really love her historicals, and I'm excited to check out this one. Don't know anything about it except for it comes out towards the very end of the month. I'll put like the release date over here. I'm excited to get to all of these. Hopefully I can get to all 3 of them this weekend. We shall see, because like I said, we have a family fun weekend. I know we're gonna have like some pool time. My daughter's like super excited to go swimming in the pool of the hotel, like since it's super wintry outside. So they have like an indoor pool. They're possibly gonna do some like Black Friday Christmas shopping, maybe. We'll see while we're in town. I know we're doing the Nutcracker for sure. We have like season passes, like we're ticket holders for the local performing arts center. So we do like all the Broadway shows, and then we also get like the other events that they have going on at the performing arts center. So the ballet, gonna do that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And then what else are we gonna do? Oh, and then we're gonna also go do the new Disney movie Wish that just came out this weekend. So go check out that. We're a huge Disney fan family, and just like movies in general, we love going to new movies. So we're gonna go see that as well. So yeah, I'll check in later. You're gonna see like a lot of B-roll from the weekend. It's very cold and wintry outside. So yeah, enjoy, and I'll check in later. Attempt to do a video clip in here. So it is Saturday and I'm just getting ready, finishing up my hair for the Nutcracker that we're going to later. So I did finish Broken Dreams by Corinne Michaels last night, and that one I think I'm going to give it like 3.5, maybe 4 stars, round up to that. I thought it was okay. I didn't love it as much as I loved the first book in the series, sadly. So basically this one, I think I said the hero and the heroine, they're both single parents. They both have 3-year-old children, and their kids go to the same school, so that's how they meet in the beginning. And then of course they like know each other's families and stuff like that because they are in this small town. So the hero in this one, he ends up needing a fake date, fake girlfriend situation because basically he's trying to start up his own business of like being a private courier and deliver paperwork and things like that to businessmen in New York. And so he needs his own plane to do this. So he needs like investors to help him with this. So he ends up finding out that the people who he wants to invest with or wants to invest in him, like they want somebody who they can trust and believe in, like more so than just his company. They want to believe in the man. They want like a family man. And so they tell him like they want him to have somebody to like bring to parties and stuff with him. So he ends up knowing the heroine like already, and then he has to help her out. Like he saves her a couple times when her car breaks down and things like that. And then he also knows that she's like dating again and trying to date people because both of them have lost their spouses like 3 years ago. They both lost her husband, and then him, his wife. So like he doesn't want to ever be in a relationship or get married again, whereas she's ready to branch out and get out there again. Like he doesn't want the loss again, but she's like, I want to share my life with somebody. So she's put herself out there and has started dating and things like that. And then she's just been going on like terrible dates. And so he kind of saves her from a few of those situations. And yeah, it goes from there. So they start fake dating because she wants a date to like a friend's wedding that's coming up back in her hometown and doesn't want to be like known as just like the widow anymore. And he needs one obviously for his business getting set up and investors. So they start fake dating and it goes from there. And like I mentioned, it just like, it was okay. Like it came together a little too easily, I felt like. And the relationship, like the steamy times, I feel like some of those books where the characters feel like totally different than how they are in the rest of the book. Like when it comes to the steamy times, it felt out of character for them, the way they would act and talk. So it was okay, 3.5/4 stars. And yeah, that's my update for now. All right, all done, hair done, makeup done. That's the look. I'm gonna change my outfit and we are gonna head out to the Nutcracker, so I'll check in later. I'm back home now and I'm about to jump into filming some videos. I have to do my December TBR and all of those fun end of the month videos. So I wanted to hop on here really quick to close out this video and talk about the Devney Perry book that I ended up finishing. So I was reading Sable Peak, which is book 6 in the Edens series. And this one I ended up giving like 3.5 stars. It's probably going to be more towards 3 than 4. I just didn't love it. Like I was realizing as I was reading this one, like kind of looking back at the series as a whole, like I love Devney Perry's books. I've read them all, like literally all of her books. I've read them. And I feel like this series in particular just peaked for me at Juniper Hill, and everything since then has just been kind of like going downhill, you know, so to speak. So I don't know, like some of her books I have loved in the past. Her latest ones haven't really gripped me as much, sadly, which is always sad when like you have a favorite author that you've read all their books and then like they're not hitting the same for you. I don't know if that's happened to you as well. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this one. Basically in here we're following Mateo, which is the youngest Eden's sibling, and we have already seen in the previous books, like he went off to Alaska, he flies planes, small planes, and at the end of the previous book in the series, which obviously if you're going to jump into Sable Peak, like hopefully you've read the other books, because majority of the story of Crimson River, the previous book, is going to get spoiled in this one. Like, you have to have that connection because of who the heroine is in this book. But anyway, so I'm going to be talking like you've already read Crimson River. So anyways, so at the end of Crimson River, we saw Mateo get a phone call that he has a child in Alaska that he doesn't know about. So that was kind of like a little cliffhanger at the end of that book. Basically, this one jumps into the heroine's POV first, which is Vera, another character we met at the end of Crimson River. And she's been kind of living life isolated and things like that. If you've read that story, you know why. But basically, she kind of comes into the Eden's fold because her father's friend / her pseudo uncle kind of is Vance, which is the hero of Crimson River, who ends up getting with Lila, one of the Eden's people, family members, children, characters, whatever you want to call it. So her kind of like pseudo uncle is Vance, and so she's really close with Vance and Lila. So Lila brings her into the Eden's family fold. So she like lives on one of the properties of the Eden's family, and she like hangs out with them all. She works with Lila at the coffee shop. The parents of the Eden's family like help her, teach her how to drive, like help her bake, like do all these things. So she's very much in the Eden's life and family. And so she meets Mateo that way at the beginning of the story at like one of the family gatherings, and she's instantly hooked on him and loves him, like just instantly attracted to him, you know what I mean? So she's crushing on him, and we see her there the night that he gets that call, finding out that he has a child in Alaska and taking off. So she's like, oh my God, what? Like, how am I ever going to win this guy if he's gone and has like a baby now? So we see in the first 20% of the story, like we've already gone through 2 years, which I don't love. Like, I'd rather see kind of some of the time build up, but regardless. So he came back and he has his daughter now because the person who he had a baby with in Alaska passed away. Like, so we don't see any of that, but he comes back, has his daughter, and then we see Vera kind of get close to, or stay close to the Eden's family. Like, she helps out with his daughter. She's kind of friendly with Mateo, but not like super friendly, like, if that makes sense. Like, she's more close to some of the other people in his family, but she's really close to his daughter and helps out with her. So when his daughter's 2, we see, like I said, 2 years pass in the first 20% of the story. Vera has been stuck on Mateo like ever since. She is obsessed with him and pining for him. Heroines pining for heroes like that don't always work for me, but here we are. So anyways, Vera's just kind of like waiting in the sidelines. She doesn't like make a move or tell him how she feels. She's just like waiting for him to notice her, I guess. So one day she ends up going to a bar at night with a bunch of the family members, and Mateo's there, and he's talking to a girl, a date at the bar. And so Vera decides to get drunk, go over there, approach them, spews out all of these things about like everything she knows about Mateo, all of his likes and dislikes, all the things she's noticed about him over the years, just all of this stuff. And this other woman is like, excuse me, ma'am, like, who are you? Why are you talking to me? Like, who is this girl? So then Vera ends up kissing Mateo and then runs away. Like, she leaves the bar, she runs off. So from there, Mateo's like, oh my God, like, it clicks. He notices her, and then he's like interested immediately and wants to make it work. Somewhere around there, it just like didn't work for me perfectly. So yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And then very quickly, like, he wants to make their relationship a relationship, all of these things, wants to move her in, wants her to be there for his baby, like just all of this stuff. So yeah, I didn't love it, sadly. I'm trying to think of what else I was going to say about it. Kind of it really, like, super steamy. I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. He also calls her Peach. Didn't love that nickname personally, but to each their own, I guess. We do see Vera going through a lot of like emotions and grief and trauma that happened in her past, hence going back to Crimson River again. If you read that one, you know what she's gone through. You'll see it again in this one. So yeah, we have all of that going on. I just wasn't sold on this couple, sadly, or the book. Like I mentioned, I feel like this series kind of just like peaked for me, and ever since then it's just been kind of like floating downhill, so to speak. So yeah, those are my updates. Not the best reading weekend. Both of them were kind of like just mid for me, 3.5 stars. So yeah, there is my update. Hopefully you enjoyed this little vlog, regardless though of the reading experience, where you got to go along with me on the weekend. We did the movies, we did a hotel stay, we did the Nutcracker, spent some time in town shopping, all of those things. So hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you've been already shopping for the holidays yet, if you found any good things. If you're gonna pick up either of these books or have read these series, I'd love to know and chat about them. Let me know all the things in the comments. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I'll see you in my next one.